Hello everybody! Welcome to Skyward Sword. And
we're climbing a tree. So
yep.
And we finally get to the top. Thank goodness.
You've reached the top of the tree. From this vantage point you have a good view of the woods. Perhaps you'll see an area you haven't explored.
So, continue on a note of story writing and such. I had to say one of the things that bothered me the most back then, and kind of even now, is the whole chosen one route, which is actually happens extremely often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the chosen one route is pretty standard, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's just that it's way too much, and usually they don't even give a reason why that person is a chosen one.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thankful for Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is they actually give a reason to why Link is the chosen one. Thank God for that, because it was one of my gripes. It's like, okay, Legend of Zelda, I love the games, but what the heck? I mean, it's just that this kind of a thing, the prologue that it is, and it explains basically why Link is the chosen one and why all the other Links are the chosen ones. It makes me extremely happy.
Right.
When a lot of stories don't even explain it. Why this character is the chosen one. It's like it's really annoying. I mean, even sometimes Harry Potter bothers me because of it, but you kind of learn why, but it's still weird.
Harry Potter was weird in the aspect of the chosen one, because the way that J.K. Rowling did the chosen one aspect was like, you know, oh, Harry's the chosen one and all that, and it is true that they didn't like give much of a reason to exactly why at first.
Yeah, but eventually.
Yeah, eventually they did explain it and everything, but I still felt like the way that they told the story was not the way the story should have been told. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that thinks this, but the prophecy, the prophecy in the Harry Potter series stated that neither Harry or Voldemort could die without the other one killing them, and so I always felt like the ending to the seventh one was weird because the prophecy stated that neither could die without the other killing them, and it was kind of interesting because I always had this feeling that like they would end the series with Harry killing Voldemort, which would bring about, because of the fact that Harry couldn't die except through Voldemort, it kind of made me think that the route they were planning was Harry would sort of make the ultimate sacrifice, if you will, by basically being immortal, essentially, because of the fact that, you know, he would kill Voldemort, but he couldn't die without Voldemort. And so it would be this, like, you know, they kept building up like all these tragic scenes and stuff, and it kind of felt like they were going with the idea that look at all these things that Harry can never ever get if he kills Voldemort. Like, he'll never see his parents and things like that. Maybe I'm just sadistic, but I don't know. I felt like the route that they were going was the idea that neither could die without the other, and so they were planning to build up to a point where Harry would end up basically not being able to die because he had killed Voldemort. So I thought that would have been interesting. But the other thing that I sort of had a problem with the Harry Potter series, and I won't say that I had a problem with it, but it was another one of those things that I felt like they were meaning to do but then didn't. They had built up a lot of tension around the idea of Neville, and that he had like gone through basically the same thing that Harry had, with like his parents and stuff being killed and such. And so the prophecy, when I read the prophecy, like I came up with two theories. Either the idea that Harry wouldn't be able to die without Voldemort killing him, or a second one, which honestly I think would have been really good because it would have completely changed the entire the entire view of the stories. It's like, you know, you've got Harry Potter, so of course he's the main character, so of course he's the chosen one. So then you have Neville Longbottom, who went through the same things and could have equally have been the character that the prophecies were talking about. And I felt like that was a missed opportunity. You know, to be like, yeah, you've all been expecting Harry Potter, the main character, to be the chosen one. You know, to be the main dude in everything. But the whole time, you know, J.K. Rowling had been stringing you along, and at the end, it's Neville Longbottom who's the one that defeats Voldemort. And I really felt that was a really missed opportunity. You know,
Yeah,
she really built up the idea of the possibility of Neville being the chosen one, and then he wasn't at all.
Yeah, it's again weird in a way.
Yeah, it is a problem with the chosen one aspect. It's like you have a main character, suddenly you introduce the idea that there's a chosen one, and it's like, of course the main character is going to be the chosen one. So wouldn't it be quite an awesome twist if
someone else is the chosen one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, even I wouldn't hate that. I would think that's actually pretty awesome because in that story it kind of proves that not everyone will be a hero.
right. And it's like, you followed Harry Potter for 7 books. And you knew you'd follow Harry Potter for 7 books. So wouldn't it just be interesting if this character that you've been following and you've grown to love and so on, and you think he's the chosen one because he's obviously the main character, wouldn't it just be interesting if this character just was not? You know?
But yeah, one of the things with stories is, yeah, they always have the main character as the chosen one, and because of that, I guess you can say fans or anyone who read a book like that makes them like daydream that, oh, it would be so cool if I was the main character or something, so I can be just the one that have all these great powers or things like that, right?
Right. That is definitely a thing.
It's like, alright, but we also have to have people realize that it's okay if you're not that one popular of powered sort of guy.
Right.
I mean, you can still make a difference, and it's really your decision if you want to help out or not.
Right. I think that the chosen one thing is, as you said, it is overdone. One issue I do have with it that you basically just stated was, you know, it feels like in most stories there's a chosen one. You know, a character who was chosen. He was born for this purpose. And so it makes people read it go, well, you know, I can't do anything because, you know, I wasn't born for anything great or anything like that. It really, like...
It makes you feel like you're not important or anything like that in a way.
Right. I really think that stories could definitely do good by not throwing in a chosen one, or write a chosen one. You know, this guy is the chosen one, and he's going to do all these things. You know, make him the chosen one of a god, you know. Of course, he's the one that's going to do everything, and then throw in this little character on the side who thinks he's worthless, thinks, you know, looks at the chosen one and goes, you know, of course he's the chosen one, so he's going to do everything. But then by the end of the story, the one that saves the world, the one that does everything, is not the chosen one. Mm-hmm. In fact, the chosen one becomes corrupted because he thinks he's all that, and he becomes the main villain. I'm sorry, that would be amazing, you know?
That would be an amazing story.
One, yeah, the chosen one is the hero. He's the guy that's going to do everything, and he goes out to be the hero. And by the end of the story, he's not only has he not accomplished the thing that he was chosen to do, but he becomes the villain, and it's the little pathetic guy who the entire story you're going, this guy's never going to really amount to anything.
Oh my gosh, you practically just came up with an awesome storyline right there. Write it.
Right? I mean, that could be an amazing story.
And everyone would love it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, first of all, it would give the idea of anyone can be the hero. Anyone can be the chosen one.
Anyone, and it means that people perfectly who think that they are really important. Those people are usually the ones who become the assholes. They become evil.
Right.
You never see things like that in stories, mostly. You never do.
Right. I would absolutely love a storyline, like, I shouldn't say a storyline, but I would love a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Ganondorf, and in the end, it's like Link is the evil one, because, you know, that would just be awesome, you know? Link is the evil one. He's the chosen one of Hylia, and his entire life he's grown up. Like, usually Link is like the peasant guy that doesn't know that he's going to be the hero and such.
But this time he was as a child, he keeps on being told that he was the chosen one. He's going to save everyone and such like that, and he grew up kind of corrupt.
He grew up knowing that he would one day be the chosen one. You know, he was named Link, and so of course if you're named Link, that means that you're going to be this excellent person.
Actually, would it be funny if instead that it was Link? There was actually twins, and the one who wasn't called Link is actually the chosen one.
That would be interesting too. But
yes, and the person that was named Link always gets told that he was the chosen one. He's going to accomplish great things, but really he just becomes an evil bastard.
Right.
That his other twin brother would eventually have to kill him because of that.
Yeah. But I mean, beyond that, like, it shows, like, Link's always had the Triforce of Courage, for instance. And so this time he would have the Triforce of Courage. In fact, he would have the Triforce of Courage to the point where he was so courageous that he didn't no fear. He literally was just like, I'm the chosen one. I have all the courage. And it's like the one thing that I like about Legend of Zelda is that it does portray that you do have to kind of have a balance. You have to have courage, but you also have to have wisdom and power. The chosen one always has all three aspects. But what if you were playing as Ganondorf and the hero who's supposed to embody all of these aspects? The Triforce splits when any one property is higher than the other two when somebody grabs it. So what if Link had courage?
But he was so much, he had so much of that he was kind of prideful about it.
Right. He had so much courage, but because he was this super courageous, jerk basically in the end, he ended up being the evil in the end. And you end up learning that Ganondorf, who usually embodies power, for the first time in history, the essence of power had a balance between, the power, the wisdom, and the courage. And so for the first time, the guardian of power, the one with the Triforce of power, he's actually the one with the balance. Like, Link is so courageous that at some one point he deems that that he needs to make a change in the world. He's so courageous, in fact, that he goes out to seek the Triforce, just holding so much courage in him, thinking that he's all that, basically, because he's, got all the courage. He's the chosen one of Hylia, so of course he has the courage and all that. And then he gets the Triforce, and it splits on him. And then he doesn't understand why it split, because of course he has the courage. And so of course he's the chosen one of Hylia. He's the hero. And then
I just gave you more game idea than I.
it corrupts him because he has the courage. He's the hero. He's going to make a difference. And he goes out, and without having the wisdom and without having the power, he goes out and tries to change the world and ends up corrupted. And it's up to the man that has the power to stop him to turn around and do just that. And at first, Ganondorf, he doesn't think that he has the power. But then he learns that he does. But then not only does he learn that he does, he learns how to have not just the power to stop him, but how to be courageous enough to stand up against the hero of courage. I mean, come on, that's got to take tremendous courage. Mm-hmm. And then he learns how to have the wisdom to use the power and to use his courage. And all of a sudden, the villain that we've all come to know and love as the villain suddenly is the hero of the whole series. I mean, that would just be amazing. I'm sorry, but I like Link, and I like The Legend of Zelda, but I mean...
But yeah, things like this could easily happen.
The villain is always the power guy. He's always the one with the power. And he's always like this demonic entity. And I understand that... Because
people do want power and such. Yeah.
Power corrupts.
But a lot of people who are generally weak, and they don't really know how good they can actually be.
Right. And I understand power corrupts absolutely, and the idea is that all of the villains are usually demonic in some way because of the demon lord that was the original, demise and everything. But what if, Demise has been doing this for countless centuries. His spirit just awakening multiple times, always in the body of Ganondorf or Vadi or something like that, and he finds a way to embody, he figures out a way to turn around and make the hero his pawn. And so, in the end, Link turns into some kind of demonic entity, because the spirit of demise and all that. But the entire time, it's like you're playing as Ganondorf, and, Link ends up becoming the villain in the end. It's, I think that would just be awesome, to be honest.
But it's kind of the whole base ideal is, Link is correct basically from the beginning when he was basically by birth he's always been praised and such.
Right.
It's like, that is completely understandable. I mean, you kind of see it happen all the time. People who's always been praised, never really any bad thing that they do, they don't really get in trouble for it, and they become like evil or sadistic as they can get. When they're older, they don't understand. They've been just told that they'll be they are there for greatness and such like that. It's like, come on. Honestly, if you've been told that ever since you were born, you're going to have some issues with that. Right.
I mean, Link has always been the commoner that turned out to be the hero. But I mean, there's so many things that just always point to him being the hero right from the beginning. Like, the Ocarina of Time Link, they knew that he was the hero because the Deku Tree knew that he would be the hero, But what if Link grew up in the Kokiri Forest, and instead of the Deku Tree keeping information, he told him, one day, you're going to be this great hero and things, and calamity's going to strike
into his head.
Yeah, and he would slowly become corrupted and twisted, and all of a sudden he becomes the villain by the end of the story of Ocarina of Time,
And actually, we kind of seen it sort of happening in in this game that we're playing right now. You know how come? Link got the rare bird, and because of that, he was slacking off.
Right.
Even Zelda noticed it. And saw it as a huge problem. In a way, she was correct.
Oh, yeah.
Now, from what we can guess, Link only recently got that bird, right?
Yeah, it's assumed that they got it around the age of 12, based on what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. I would say no earlier than 12 or 13, possibly even later, since Link is 17. Mm-hmm. They never really explain when you get your bird.
Bird? Yeah, birds.
There are NPCs that don't have birds, and so clearly you don't have them as a kid. It's something that you gain when you sort of evolve into adulthood, basically. Your teenage years or whatever.
I mean, I don't think we even seen Fledge having a bird.
That I don't actually know. I mean, I guess it's assumed that he has a bird, but yeah. Well, no, he does have a bird. We don't see it, but he talks about the fact that he's a weak flyer.
Okay.
So.
But what I'm saying is, from what we can assume, we'll get into the academy right after you get a bird, probably.
Probably. I mean,
probably.
Not everybody goes. Well, not everybody goes into the academy.
To the academy, yeah.
Because there's several people that have birds that aren't in the academy.
But what I'm saying is, I guess to get into the academy, you need to get a bird.
Yeah.
Or first off, so, and that's only like probably a few years if we're talking like school based.
Right.
But yeah, that's only a few years. Imagine if it was like that ever since Link was like a child when he got the bird.
Right.
You know how much that would probably corrupt him? Knowing that he's going to be amazing all because he got a shiny red bird?
Right. There's every chance that the hero of courage, knowing what he is, could become, this corrupt, evil person. There's no reason why courage can't be used incorrectly. It's just that they never do it with anything.
Actually, thinking about it again, I'm pretty sure Harry Potter would have been evil if he knew it all along.
Yeah, I would not even doubt that if Harry had been told from birth that he was the boy who lived and so on, I think that he would have gone the same route as Tom Marvolo Riddle.
And he would even be worse than Draco Malfoy.
Right. And, I mean, a lot of the reason that he didn't become evil was because he went to Gryffindor. But the Sorting Hat tried to put him in Slytherin, and Harry didn't want it. If he had known he had been the chosen one,
he would have gone to Slytherin for greatness and such like that. He would have been
like, as soon as the Sorting Hat put it on his head and said, well, what are you, where should I put you? Immediately, Harry would have been just like thinking, man, I hope that I'm in Slytherin because, he wants to have power. Because, I'm going to be great, that's the thing about Slytherins. All Slytherins were always great men. Sure, a lot of them were evil, but they were always great. Yep. And so, of course, Harry knowing, he's destined for greatness, of course, he's going to want to be great. And thus, the Sorting Hat's probably going to take a look at him and go, Slytherin. And the only reason that Harry went to Gryffindor is because when the Sorting Hat is talking, it's like, you could go to Slytherin, you could be great. In which case, Harry's sitting there going, anything but Slytherin, anything but Slytherin. And the Sorting Hat's trying to convince him to let it put him in Slytherin. If Harry had known that he was going to be great, he would have put the hat on, and the thing would have gone, I think you're best in Slytherin. And that would have been it. He would have been in Slytherin, and that was it.
The only reason why he didn't want to be in Slytherin was he saw Draco Malfoy and saw his friends go into Gryffindor. The thing is, if Harry knew that he was going to be great, he probably wouldn't be friends with Ron or Hermione, and, even try to be friends with them in the first place.
Right. I mean, Draco walks up to him and goes, if you want to be great, come with me. And at that point, he's just like, in his thought of being that he's nobody important, he's just like, no. First of all, he gained his friends Ron and Hermione on the train.
Yeah,
and so he didn't want to leave them.
But it's the fact that if he knew he was great, he wouldn't really want with like people as friends in the first place.
And the only reason that he became friends with Hermione and Ron was because A, he knew nothing, so he wandered until he found Ron. If he had known, who he was and that he had been a wizard and etc., he would have immediately probably known where to go and booked himself on one of the better areas, probably whichever one it was that Draco would have been on, and would have met with Draco and so on. He definitely, easily, if he had known who he was, he could have easily not only become evil, but possibly become worse than Voldemort. And I think that's a story I would love to see. The Chosen One knows he's the Chosen One, and because he's the Chosen One, he thinks that he can do no wrong because he's the Chosen One. Well, you can't, throw me in jail. I'm the Chosen One. There's this thing, but you can't throw me in jail. I'm the Chosen One.
Yeah. To be honest, for D&D, I have Hiroki, and when I first played them, and Izuki was the DM, I tried to explain to Uzuki about Hiroki's background story and such, and then just one during D&D, he just goes off and said, okay, Hiroki is actually chosen one of Bahamut, and I'm like, well, great, now I have to figure out how that works out.
Right.
And the closest thing, the one thing that would make sense was the fact that Hiroki is actually a dragon himself, and he is the son of Bahamut. Yep. But he doesn't know, which is why he's not correct or anything like that.
And thus the evolution of Hiroki and the current version of him.
Yep.
Being the son of Bahamut, being a time dragon, And, will lead to his future corruption too.
Yes, the Hiroki I've been playing now, yes, he knows that he is a dragon, but the fact that he sees his father and basically looks at him and is like, there's no way I can be that powerful like him.
Right.
Which is why he isn't totally evil, but the fact that he can be evil still.
Right, definitely.
Because it's okay, maybe I need to get better than my father, and if he is pushed, he can really become evil like that.
Yep. But anyway, I think this is a good spot to end the episode here. I keep getting lost, so I have not gotten to where I need to go, which is actually this way now that I've looked at the map. But I just kept getting lost and confused to where I was. This place is confusing to me. So anyway, we will continue on to the Skyview Temple again, because we have to get the spring water for the dragon here. So we'll do that in the next episode. So if you've been enjoying, feel free to subscribe, feel free to leave a like, check out my Patreon, and check out Mia's channel. Also, if you like D&D, definitely check out the Patreon, because I post my current D&D campaign that we keep talking about up there. You can download the campaign module from my Patreon. And I have not been posting the podcast as avidly as I should be, but we do a D&D podcast. My main reason for not really posting the podcast lately is because nobody is actually downloading it. So I don't see much of a point in posting it when nobody is actually downloading it. Oh well, what can you do? Anyway, We'll see everybody next time.
Bye bye.
Keep calm and punny on, everybody.